All right. Whew. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. Hello and welcome. Thanks for joining us Under the Library. This is our Call of Cthulhu actual play podcast set in a homebrew universe that was built by our very own keeper. If you enjoy what we are doing here and would like to support us, we would certainly appreciate that. There's a couple ways you can do it. You can go to patreon.com/underthelibrary, or you can go to DriveThruRPG and search for The Snake's Oil, a module written by that aforementioned keeper, set in Season 1 of this here show with PCs and NPCs from that section. And I would be remiss if I forgot to mention our other podcast. If you play or GM any tabletop role-playing game, Call of Cthulhu, D&D, Savage Worlds, Blades of the Dark, Fiasco, any of those things, there's hundreds of them, and you would like to add a little more RP to your G, head over to your favorite podcast provider and search for Up Your RPG. That's Up Your RPG wherever you get your podcasts. With that out of the way, let's get to a show, because it's going to be a good one. My name's Arthur. I am playing Franny. I am joined by a full cast tonight. Rick is Sam. Scott's Cully. Emily's Joe. Chris is Boone. And Wayne is, spoiler alert, if you haven't listened to the last episode, go listen to that first. Rutherford's corpse. Dead Rutherford. Rutherford's ghost. And as always, our keeper is Michael. Michael, show's all yours.
Hey, thanks for joining us Under the Library. Sometimes Under the Library, things get a little violent and even a little gory, featuring themes of bad dice rolls as well as violence. Yes. So if you ever got a pet thinking about how it would look taxidermied, you're probably in the right spot. And with that, we're going to go to Emily for last episode's recap.
Okay. Sorry, the content warning threw me a little bit. Wait, is that what you wanted to see my reaction about?
Yep, that's the one.
Oh, wonderful. All right. So last week, as we began, Joe and Cully and Sam had arrived at the house in Abiquiu. So Joe and Cully entered the kitchen and found a very drunk Boone who talked freely about exploding heads and poor Cully. Joe earmuffed him, but he still heard, and he feels very angry not only at Boone for drinking when he had been sober for so long, but also the insensitivity. And as he stormed away and Joe followed, they ran into Carly and her daughter and Rutherford in the hallway. Rutherford and Cully compared notes on experiences with Richard, his secrecy and strange behaviors, and Cully is relieved to know that Richard did not lie to him. There were just things that he hadn't yet shared. So Joe urges Rutherford to help Franny, but in this moment he has another head pain, and as Franny is trying to, in turn, instead examine Rutherford and his head, his eye bursts into her face. He jumps, trips, and rips her stitches open. And Joe and I don't know what this says. Joe, Franny, and Cully to Rutherford, who urges Cully to get Franny to the bathroom and wash off the goo. I guess that's what it says.
That's pretty much it.
And Cully holds the wound as Franny collapses, and Joe tries to clean her face with a towel. At this point, at Rutherford's request, Boone leads him into the garage where they see Sam, who had returned to the garage for his shotgun. Sam wants to bandage Rutherford's eye, but he won't let him because of fear of infection. And he just wants the truck moved because Rutherford's plan is self-sacrifice. He He wants to dispose of the bodies in the car and take the blame for everything because he feels that he does not have much time left. At this point, Sam offers to put him out of his misery, but Rutherford declines. He takes a few moments with the wooden box, but has another horrible head pain which clouds his thoughts. And then he drives erratically out of town, attracting the sirens of the local police. It is Mulvaney. Mulvaney leans in the window to talk to Rutherford, whose head explodes. Back at the house, Sam walks into a disaster in the kitchen, but the dishes are very clean. Joe, Cully, and Sam decide that Florence has to go to a doctor, and Joe knows a doctor in the town because she used to live there. She gives detailed directions to Sam and wants to go along, but Sam insists that for the safety of the kids, Joe and Cully need to stay behind. Joe acquiesces, and Sam begins to drive towards the doctor, but then changes his course and heads out of town, arrives at that same Barbasol billboard that multiple members of the party have stopped at in the past. He tells Franny he needs to change a tire, but she is unresponsive.
Oh, that's the end. That's me.
That's all I've got.
Okay.
I think we were all just reliving those last few moments and
Yeah.
lost track. as
Oh,
we're
maybe you
listening
were
to-
waiting for me to quote Chris, who said, "Why are your characters always liars?"
All right. And on that note, though we won't get an explanation of that, maybe, let's pick up. Sam, take it away.
Well, thank you. So I got. So as Sam gets up and out of the truck, he goes around to the truck bed, and he flips open the burlap, and he sees if Fanny's awake or not. Says, Franny?
Sam, I know what you're doing, and we need to talk. I don't know how much time I have left. I've lost a lot of blood.
You want to talk here, or you want to talk out of the truck?
I'm not sure I can move.
I can pick you up.
Sam, I know what you're doing, and I can't let you do it. I don't know what you've been through, but I think you're right in bringing me out here. I don't think I'm going to make it, and I don't want to contaminate anyone else. But I can't let you do this. I need you to leave your firearm with me, and I need you to leave me here. And when you go back, I have something here. And Franny reaches in sort of under her shirt, and on the other side, not on the shot side, pulls out an envelope. It's a sealed envelope, and it looks kind of thick, like it's not just a sheet of paper. And it's sort of, as she's holding it, it sort of sags on one side, and she hands it to you. Do you take it?
Sam pauses for a moment and looks at you. Reaches his hand out and grabs the package.
Okay.
The letter.
So it's clearly a letter, but there's something heavy inside the envelope as well.
What's this here, Franny?
So, Sam, this is a letter for Joe, and I need you to get this to her. It will explain everything. It's going to give her some information that I have and she does not, and I really need her to get this. It will also explain what's happening here. While we were driving, my handwriting's not great because I was bumping around quite a bit. But I did finish it, and I do tell Joe what I intend to do here, and I need her to see that. There are also 2 keys in that envelope. One, I don't know what it's for, but we found it in Richard's house. I don't know if you were privy to that information, but we found it in a secret hiding place in Richard's house, and I need for Joe to get that. The other key is to my apartment back in town, and I need for Joe to get there. There's information there that I have found in my search to find information about my great-great-uncle, and I think it will help Joe moving forward. I was planning to tell her and to bring her into this, but I don't think I'm going to be able to do that. So I need for you to get this envelope to her. I think it will help in your relationship with her. And at the same time, I don't know what you plan to do, but anything you can do to help those kids, they will probably never become close to you. They may never trust you, but I think that there are things that you can do to help them, whether from afar or close. That's up to you. But those kids do not deserve what has happened to them. And whatever you can do to help them, I would appreciate it. Now,
Franny,
whatever happens, I'm feeling a little dizzy here. I need to tell you two more things.
Okay.
I know that you're not gonna want to leave your firearm with me. I get that, and I understand what you said about me not taking your rifle. I know you're a military man, whatever, but I need you to not come back here for at least 24 hours. Whatever is inside me needs to die before anyone finds me. So come back if you want to get your gun, if you want to do whatever you need to do after that, but do not come back here right away. It will be dangerous for you. And the other thing is, I need you to drag me far enough away from where we are now that no one's going to see me. Will you do that, Sam?
It's going to be the hardest mission I think I've had, but I'll do this. It's not without protest, but it's with recognition that this takes a mighty amount of gumption and honor to do what you're proposing to do here, Franny. You've much stronger will than most, and I respect it.
Thank you. I know you and I have not seen eye to eye, and I appreciate you giving me this.
And with that, I'll kind of motion, see if you need a hand out of the truck, and may I lift you out?
All right. So just lay that burlap there, and I'll just try to fall on it, and I just sort of scoot down and try to fall on the burlap so that he can drag that.
Yeah, and I'll help you down a little bit, so you're not just flopping down.
Yeah, appreciate that.
A little awkward, and I'll put the bed of the truck up, and then I'll start dragging you out. And we'll say we go maybe 100 feet. I don't know if there's any large bushes, keeper, or large vegetation out there, but whatever is sort of the most indistinct and most covered. I think I'd aim for that as a path.
There's a large it's desert, but there's a large kind of rock outcropping that you could lean her up against that would be mostly protected from the roadway.
Yeah, so I would do that, and I'd try and angle you where, if it's angled, if the rock face is facing north, say, and the road's to the south, so that any sounds or views are sort of obscured, and prop you up there, and you still got the burlap. And I would take over my handgun, okay. And I would put a bullet in the chamber. I would lock it up, and I would turn it around, and I would hand you the butt of the gun.
Thank you.
Do you take it?
Yeah, I'll take it. Thank
and
you,
as you're taking it, I don't let go right away.
Okay.
I say, Franny, is there anything you want me to say to Boone or to Cully or to anyone you know in town?
Just have Joe read the last part of the note, and that will explain everything. And
anything you want me to take, any mementos other than this letter?
Just those 2 keys. Those need to get to Joe.
Very well. And Sam will take his dog tags, and he'll take off his actual dog tags, but leave the chain with Franny, and say, "I don't have much more that would be of significance on my hand, but you're braver than anyone I fought with, and I'll hand that over to you." And I'll kind of stand up and give you one little look, and then I'll start walking back over to the truck. And on my way, I'm going to make sure I sort of dust the trail a little bit, so that it's not, say, just a dragged path, if that makes sense. And I'll hop into the truck and make sure all the footprints and whatnot are gone. And then I'll take a visual cue of sort of where we are, and sort of make a mental note. I walked 100 feet this way, what have you. There's the rock, just so I have that mental impression. And I'll yell out the window, "Good luck," and I'll start the car, and I'll start driving off. And as I'm driving off, I'm sort of clutching down on my teeth. I don't really want to leave in this way, but trying to respect her wishes.
And as you're driving off, you hear a gunshot.
And I grab this sort of steering wheel a little tighter, and I tear up a little bit. Sam's kind of used to war and to some pretty traumatic events, and he's getting a little bit of flashbacks to some of his friends, and he sort of just keeps on going, gripping that steering wheel just a little bit tighter, and heads back to the house.
Okay. Franny, just give me a stealth roll with that.
Okay. Great.
And
Franny with another roll.
Yeah. No.
One last roll for Franny to fail.
I just mainly need
yeah, that's actually pretty good. Let me I didn't think I was gonna have to roll, so I didn't even open my character sheet.
All right. And Sam, you're headed back to the house?
I am, and just like when on my way there, I would make a note to see if anybody, before I pulled out, right, was anybody else on the road, make sure it was clear, and that, you know what I mean.
Yeah. Yep. Let's cut over to the house for a second, because we've got Cully, Boone, and Joe there. What's the conversation transpiring?
Real quick.
Yeah.
I'm going to burn all of the rest of. I only needed one, but I'm going to burn the rest to make it an extreme success.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Okay. Cut over to the house for
Chris,
just a
muted.
second. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not in the house. Don't know if you remember. I stepped out.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
I'm out there sweeping. I just don't want to cause Cully any more stress.
Okay. All right. Then unless anybody feels anything pertinent before Sam arrives, then I'll just cut to Sam's arrival at the house. Unless anybody, Cully, Joe, do y'all need any conversation before Sam returns? Conceivably, some time would pass here, so just want to give y'all the opportunity.
I mean, in that time, I probably would have tried to clean up, talked to, oh my gosh, what's her name?
Carly.
Talk to Carly a little more. And we don't have to play that out in game.
Okay.
But just to engage with her and to try to, because until we know how Franny's doing at the doctor.
Yeah. And so, and your conversation with Carly would like reinforce what we've seen earlier in the scenario, right? She's very caring, especially with you. And she has her daughter, so or presumably her daughter.
Did her daughter have a name?
Yeah.
I don't know if I ever got that.
The big binder of Keeperage. It's Stephanie.
Stephanie. Okay.
Yeah.
So, and
Thanks.
really quickly, so Boone, you've been outside the whole time, right?
Yeah, after you expressed your disappointment in me, I was just so crushed that I I didn't want to be in the same space, so I went out and I'm keeping my.
After some time transpires, I'm going to. Cully's going to head outside and look for you.
Right on the front porch.
Okay. And he's going to sort of keep his distance. His head's down. He's, he's sort of not quite looking at you, but you can sort of get a sense if you're looking at him that he wants to. And he's just going to sort of say half to the ground, half to you, like, Boone, I know you're a good person, and I know you slipped, and I know you can stop drinking, and I'm sorry if I was so mean to you. And you're going to see that there's some tears in his eyes, and he's going to say, I know that it's hard to stop drinking, and I know you can do it.
Well, this ain't on you, Cully. I'm the one that slipped up, and I don't know that I can stop. It's today. I don't know what tomorrow holds. Yeah, it's one day at a time. I don't know that I can be much use anymore. I might have to. I think both you kids are great, but I may have to hit the road again until I find out whether I can get my head together again. I want to know you kids will be. I want to know first you kids will be safe.
We'll be safe. We'll make sure we're safe. I'll talk to Joe. I'll let everybody know. If you're not going to come in, I'll let him know that you are going to take care of the most important thing here. And you got to take care of yourself, and you got to, you were telling us about how you like being someone who didn't drink anymore, and everybody makes mistakes, and I've seen it, and I know that you can be the person that stops drinking, and if it takes leaving to do it, that's okay. You're not doing anything to us, you're doing it for yourself, and that's really good. I want you to be okay because you're a really good person.
Well, you're a good kid. I can tell you're going to grow up to be a better man. And here, I want you to take this.
And he fishes into his pocket, and he's got a stone that's highly polished, and it has a symbol on it. And I says, "You hold on to this, and I think it might come in handy in the near future. There might be a fella you run into. There's a couple of fellas in the future. Sorry, I'm still a little, my head's not quite together. You show them this, and you might find a stranger that'll help you some."
Okay.
So and he closes your fingers around it, and he goes, "I hope to see you both again someday, and I hope that I will."
Me too.
And then he doesn't like goodbyes, and he just starts.
Before you can go though, he's coming up and he's giving you a hug.
Oh, okay.
He's coming up. He's going to say, "It's okay, Boone."
Well, I hug you back, give you a big hobo hug, big old hobo hug, and then I don't make eye contact. I just start walking in the opposite direction that I think Sam went, because I don't want him to, offer to pick me up and kill me.
Yeah, you don't want that.
So is the opposite direction that he thinks Sam went actually the way that Sam went?
I think he started going.
That's what I'm asking to keep.
Yeah, but he drove. Boone would be walking away from town. Sam didn't double back because Sam drove into town towards the doctor's office, but he just drove through town back towards the billboard. So
okay,
got it.
Yeah, Boone's headed basically straight out of town. Where he'll probably end up. I mean, realistically, he would hitch a ride, which would take him back through town. Like
heading to the train station.
There's not a lot in the direction that Boone's headed at the moment, except an exploded Rutherford. So, Boone's headed out of town, and we'll say enough times pass that Boone's at least put a mile or two behind him when Sam, you return and pull up to the house. as you pull up, just a reminder that the car's in the garage, right? We have the government car in the garage.
Wait, I thought
You do?
Rutherford took the government
No,
car.
Oh,
Rutherford
no, that's
took
right.
that.
Wow, thanks for helping the keeper out. I
You got
appreciate it, y'all.
We're here for you.
All right, so there's not a car in the garage. So anyway,
Is there a
pull up to
wait?
the-
Is there a doodlebug in the garage? Does
No.
Boone take the doodlebug? No, the doodlebug
No.
didn't
The
make it
doodlebug
here.
got left behind.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
No car.
There are no
so
cars.
So Sam will
Right.
back in just like he did prior.
Okay.
And before he gets out of the car, he'll just sort of look in the rearview mirror and wipe any make sure he's presentable. Doesn't want to show any appearance that he was shedding a tear or two. And I got the letter in my pocket, and I'll walk on in, walk out of the car, close the doors. I head up to the porch. Is anybody there? Cully, are you inside? Or you still outside?
I'm just sitting on the porch. I've got a rock in my hands and I'm just sort of flipping it over and I'm just sitting on the porch.
And I say, Cully, how you doing? How you doing?
Boone's gone.
Well, into town? Is he getting supplies or?
He left. He had to go. He fell off the wagon. He started drinking, and I think he needed to go get himself back together, and he was going to hit the road and see if he could, I don't know, just keep from drinking again.
Sometimes you need a little soul searching once in a while. I don't begrudge him that. Would have given him a ride to the train station though, if he
I think
wherever
he wanted
wherever
to
he
walk.
was going. That makes sense.
I think he's a man who lives on his feet.
How are you doing there, son?
I'm not okay. It's been too much. I've seen too many people go, and I don't think I can do this anymore.
Do you have somewhere to go?
No, I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm going to
Wow.
talk to Joe. I'm just trying to get the courage up.
Well, I'll put this out there. There's a lot of room on the farm. You're welcome to stay with us at the Wagoneers. There's no pressure there, but you'll be clothed and fed and out of sight of anyone you want to avoid, and just an option for you. Sort of pat you on the side, sort of on the shoulder, and say, but I'll give you some time to think. I need to go in and talk with Joe.
Okay. First, thank you. Thank you for the offer. And I just got to think about it. And I'll sort of walk in after you. Like you go in the door and I'll just sort of walk in quietly behind you.
Sure. And I'll head in. And Joe, what are you doing, or what do I see? Do I see you chatting with the missus, or
Probably trying to clean up,
not the dishes though, because they're spectacular.
not the dishes, the blood and gore.
Yeah, which I would say Carly's probably trying to tend to the same, with the
Yeah.
occasional. Stephanie, you stay back there now, honey. You stay back there. I'm taking care of this.
And do they have gloves on, or are they?
Wow. You want me to make a hygiene roll here?
No, I'm
Let's see.
just. Yeah, I mean, are they clean? I don't know why.
Wow. Here we go. Let's just paint us all into a corner. So with that, they do, as a matter of fact.
Thank God.
Carly decided that they would use the dish gloves to protect themselves.
Yeah,
Just
but the
kind of-
the
Oh my
little girl
God.
is like nibbling on
Is
some blood.
she finger painting with it?
Yeah,
Is that
she's-
what she's doing?
Yep.
the little girl's in her bedroom. This is the
I'm
Carly
just
has
making it hard on Sam.
yeah.
All right.
Wow.
Well,
Well, I'm lucky I rolled a 12 there. These good
Yeah,
dice that
me
Emily
too.
hasn't
me too. That would have been
And
dark.
you'd think,
contaminated is the
you'd
right
think
word
that
here.
if I touched the dice that saved my life, that would actually be a good thing. What was that sound?
I don't know. So Sam looks at you with the gloves and he says, "No, Now, I think we learned between Mr. Rutherford and Franny that this may be pretty contagious. So just
Oh, so you're in the room? You're talking to us now?
I'm talking
No
to you.
hello? No, like.
Well, I see this and it catches me off guard, so I'm just like, be careful now. I'm trying not to say it in any
Did you
overt
leave?
way.
Just Franny. How's Franny doing? What did the doctor say?
Yeah, Sam. What'd the doctor say?
I said, Joe, come on. I got to talk to you about what they said. Come on and sit down in the parlor, living room.
I think we're cleaning the parlor.
All right, whatever non-bloody.
That's where there was an eye explosion.
You know what? This sounds like a kitchen table issue.
Okay.
Let's head on over to the kitchen table. That's clean.
Kitchen table sounds good.
And I'll have you sit down. And are you there with me, Cully? Are you with us? Are you hanging out?
Yeah, I'm just sort of trailing behind.
And
then when you guys sit down, I'll sit down sort of at the table next to Joe.
And I'm having trouble, Joe, maintaining any eye contact with you for the moment. And say, Joe, I have to give you something that Franny asked me to impart and trust you with.
But why? She can give it to me when I see her tomorrow.
You'll just take the letter. I think you'll understand. She wanted you to have this, and I'll take it out of the paper out of my overalls, and I'm wearing overalls, and I'll put it down on the paper, the table, and I'll just sort of slide it over, and I'll pause for a moment and look at you, and then I'll just remove my hand from the letter.
Sam, what's wrong?
Franny's pretty sick. She wanted to make sure she wanted to express, I'm no good at this.
I mean, I know she tore her stitches, but the other doctor fixed her.
She patched her up.
Can fix her too.
She patched her up, but the blood from Rutherford that got all over her, and with her open wounds, she was worried she was going to get sicker. So you should just read the letter, Joe. Please read the letter.
Okay.
At this point, Sam's sort of like looking down. His legs going a mile a minute. He's got one of those. He's got the Jimmy legs going, and he's just he's clearly a little nervous.
I think I might need some input from the keeper or from.
So when you do you open it's an envelope, a standard envelope. It's sealed on one side.
The envelope.
Okay, so when you open it, and when you hold it, you feel like there's something heavy inside. It's not just a letter. There's something else in the envelope. The first thing you see is it's paper that's folded, letter style, but written on the outside. There's a sort of a hastily written short paragraph.
Then I haven't opened it yet. I'd like to
you
read
haven't,
the short paragraph.
Exactly.
Okay.
So it says, Joe, I asked.
Just to clarify, are you going to read this out loud because Cully's sitting there? I say no. Okay.
Not reading the paragraph on the outside out loud initially.
Okay.
I will just look at it and
just
then
wanted
decide.
to know. Yep. Good.
Yeah.
Okay. It says, Joe, I asked Sam not to take me to the doctor. I believe that I have whatever killed Richard, and I can't risk exposing anyone else. As for Sam, you do not have to like or even trust him, but he is a better man than I thought. Best of luck to you and Cully.
That's all
Franny.
On the outside. That's
just on the outside. The inside is same handwriting, much neater. It's relatively lengthy, and I will actually write that for you before the next episode.
Okay.
But it is not pertinent to what's happening right now.
Okay.
Do you look at what else is in there?
Well, so as I backtracked a little bit, I hadn't opened it yet.
Yeah.
Because I realized there was a paragraph on the outside.
Well, it's not on the outside of the envelope. It's on the outside of the folded sheet of paper. So when you lift the flap of the envelope, you can see writing. So you would have to pull the sheet out a little bit. Does that make sense?
It does.
Okay.
Yeah. So having pulled the sheet out of the envelope and read it silently, Cully, you're near me. You're beside me, probably
I'm
at the
just
table.
next to you. Yeah, I'm not looking over
Okay.
your shoulder or anything though.
Then I'm just going to lay that down on the table without saying anything and slide it over to Cully.
Okay.
And then while he's reading, I'm going to look in the envelope and see what gives it that weight.
Okay. There are 2 keys in there.
Mhm.
One is just a key. It's the one that we found in Richard's house. The other one is a standard key. It has a little like tag on it with an address.
Okay.
And as you're looking at those keys, as I'm watching you pick them up, I'll sort of narrate what Franny had told me, not knowing if you knew what those keys were, right? Explain
good.
both of those.
Because I
Okay.
probably wouldn't recognize the key from Richard's just by seeing it.
Yeah, I
for
would say
a
she,
couple seconds.
Fran had told me one of these was from that individual Richard's house in some sort of secret room, and the other is to her own home, which she implored you to visit. She said it would answer some questions.
So I'm just going to turn and look at Cully.
And I think Cully, after reading that, like, if there was any color left in his face, it's gone. And like just seeing that now Franny is gone, and sort of looking at Sam and then looking at Joe, I'm just gonna say, Joe, I can't do this anymore. I can't stay here anymore. I have to go. And I want you to come with me because I don't think you're going to be safe staying. And I lost Richard, and then I lost Rutherford, and now I lost Franny, and I can't lose you. And I can't stay and watch bad things happen to you again and again.
So just for a moment, I'm going to put my hand on one of Cully's hands on the table and just turn and look at Sam and say, where's Franny?
She for your sake, Joe, she's gone, Joe.
But just please tell me what that means. Please tell me what's going on.
She
I just
cared
don't
enough.
want to wonder.
She cared enough about the 2 of you in particular, and the trouble that's been going around. She didn't want to see any more harm fall upon you 2 of those, and she made probably the hardest and most honorable decision someone could make. Much like Richard, she decided to do what's best for everybody, and to well, I don't know if you really.
She's dead.
She entered the Lord's gates a little early. But this is nothing neither of you 2 need or want to should ever have to deal with. I told Cully this, Joe, and Stan, same goes for you. You're welcome to stay with my family up at the farm, little Amos and the missus, and you have a family should you want one. I hate to see all this tragedy befall 2 without any rhyme or reason. And we're far enough away where you won't have to hide from anybody if you want to avoid the eyes of the locals. But I feel a little implored at this point, given all this self-sacrifice of I knew them briefly. It seemed like honorable individuals, that there's enough evil or foul plans or contemptuous individuals that I need to sort some of this out. I don't know if they've infiltrated or contaminated or ruined our beautiful military base and all those who work so hard and so close. But I'm worried about not just us, but community as a whole.
So Franny's gone. And Rutherford, I don't know where he went.
May have let that one slip a little bit. Yeah, he went off as well. He said he needed to distract any of the local law enforcement from our presence. So I think he did just that.
And where's Boone?
And I'll turn to you and I'll say, Boone left. Boone, he couldn't. I think Boone needed to go and find out how to be okay again. I think when he drank, it hurt him really badly. And I think when he saw what it did to me, he's a good man. And I think maybe he just needed a chance to go out and find a way to be okay again. I think we were never meant to get caught up in any of this, Joe. We were going to a magic show. We were going to go see a magic show with Richard. We were never supposed to be part of any of this. We just got caught up in it, and it's killing off people that we've come to care about, and they're gone. Every time I turn around, someone else is gone.
So since I have my hand on Cully's hand, I'm just going to grab it and pull him up, and assuming Cully, you'll come along through the living room and back into the hallway so that we can talk privately.
Sure.
Okay. Cully, it's just us. What are we going to do? When you say you're going to leave, what do you mean? Where will you go? How?
I'm not
You
going
won't
back.
go back to your family.
I'm not going back to the Straits, but there's a lot of other towns. I'm old enough to get a job. I can find another high school to go into. Richard taught me about education, and I'm going to honor him by getting an education. Rutherford said he thought I was smart enough, and I believe him. Rutherford's the smartest person I ever met. So I'm going to go and I'm going to get a job. And just like you did, I'll work in a store if I have to. And I'm going to put myself through school. And I want you to come with me. I think that we can just get away from this, and we can go someplace safe and get as far away from that army base as we can, and just remember all the people that aren't with us anymore.
Cully, I can't. I can't go away. I never wanted to come back here. But now that I'm here, I feel like I can't leave, because this is the closest I've ever come to finding out anything that related to my family, to the death of my parents, to my friend. I mean, Richard knew Hans. Like, they corresponded. They knew each other. And Franny knew of him too, and Rutherford. Like, I just never imagined that there might be a chance that I could actually explain what happened past just my own. There might be something more than my own horrible mistake.
Is it worth your life? Is an answer worth your life? Because that's what it's going to cost you. You might have an answer, but you're also going to lose your life. And I'm not going to watch that happen. I care about you too much to watch you die.
You don't know that I'll die.
Everyone's died.
But if I could
Everyone's
know the
gone.
answer, I mean, I don't know if it would be worth it to lose that chance and just assure my safety, because I don't even, now that I've opened this door, I don't know how I can continue to just pretend it's not there. I have to pursue this.
I got it. I'm going to go to Santa Fe. And when I get to Santa Fe, I'll send a letter to this address telling them where I am. And if you check back here, eventually, if you make it, you'll see where I am, and then you can come find me.
As he says that, Joe, you look over. You're kind of looking past Cully, and you see into the bedroom where Carly had pushed the bed across the room earlier for Rutherford, and clearly you see kind of the safe sitting in the middle of the floor, and you're feeling the weight of the keys in your hand.
I'm probably remembering the keys on the table. I don't think I grabbed everything and took it with me.
Okay. All right, then.
But-
You're looking at them and making that kind of
thinking about
connection.
the keys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cully, that's a really good idea. You should send a letter here. I mean, if you have to go, I understand why you want to go, and I'm so sorry that I can't go with you. I just don't. And then I look past him at the safe. I don't think I can lose this chance to find answers. Maybe I'll stay here. Maybe I can stay with Carly. She seems connected to the situation.
Well, she's Richard's sister.
I mean, she seems like really calm and accepting of some really strange things.
Yeah, she's too close to all this, though. Something's going to happen. There's something going on, and there's no way out of it. If you stay, you're not going to be safe. But if somehow you make it through, come find me. And I'm going to give you a big hug. And I'm going to just pull out of the hug and just walk on out. And I'll stop at Sam and I'll say, Mr. Wagoneer, thank you for the offer, but I've got to go. I've got to get as far away from all this as I can. So I've got a teeny bit of money from Richard, and I'm going to get on a bus and I'm going to Santa Fe. But if you can keep Joe safe, if you can help her to solve her problems and get the answers she needs, then maybe you can help her get safely to me. So you made an offer, which was really nice. And I'm going to ask a favor in return, which is help keep her safe and help her find her answers. And I'll reach out and shake your hand.
And I'll shake it, and I'll say, like, she's my own kin, and you're welcome anytime up at the Wagoneers. You always got a home. And I'll if I've got I should have some money on me, but I'll give you I will say I think probably $20. That should be a lot of money and a fair amount.
Yeah.
I will, and then as I'm holding it, I say, would you want to ride to the train station. You could also join up with Boone and have the adventures of Cully and Boone. That's a whole separate. No, we won't do that. But I'll offer if you need a ride.
I say thank you. I want to walk. I know where it is. We saw it on our way into town.
Okay.
It's not that far, and I think the walking's going to help me. So,
okay.
Thank you, Mr. Wagoneer.
And I'll say, and there is the scholarship fund by that chicken man. It's for the youth that love chicken and don't read so good. And if you would love, it's sponsored by the Polays, and that is what I heard. I'm joking. Keep going.
All right. And there is a voice from the back of the room as you're kind of saying your goodbyes, and it's Carly's, and she says, Cully, I know how much Richard adored you, and maybe right before you should go, we should take a look in that safe and see if he left anything for you. And with that, we're going to take a break.
All right. Everybody take 5. We will be back in a few. Okay, we're back from break. Michael, get us going again.
Joe, let me take you back to the room here. Why don't you take your keys?
Okay. I was in the hallway and the keys are in the kitchen. Sorry.
She was cleaning though, remember? You left her cleaning, so
Yeah.
she saw you and she's picking them up and she's kind of handing them to you.
Oh,
as she
okay.
says this.
Okay.
You gonna be all right on your own, Joe? I'm happy to accompany if we're worried about anything.
Sam, she's safe with me. Thank you for asking though.
Oh, all right. Very well. I'll sit back down here and have a coffee.
Carly, one of these keys are from Franny.
I know.
Okay. Do you think that this key that we found in Richard's house might open that safe?
I think so, child. I think so.
We should look. Cully, you should come along.
Oh yeah, I'm right there because she said that I should. I was about to
Yeah.
leave, and
Yeah.
I was called back to see what's in the safe for me. So yep,
Okay.
I'm right there with you.
Keeper, can I just do a psychology roll or insight or something on do I have any misgivings about her?
Sure, you can make a roll.
Alternative motives or something about this seems
There's some
Like she's
irony.
lit-
There's some irony in this roll.
huh.
Yeah, we're just gonna put that out there.
Ooh, I got a 13. I'm gonna burn a couple points of luck and make a psychology roll.
Okay. So she feels so authentic to you. And from everything that you've observed while she's been in the house, you wouldn't have any reason to suspect otherwise. Her
All right.
directness towards you being a function of her nature towards protecting the children.
You wouldn't have
Gotcha.
any reason to suspect unless you had the darkness in your own heart, and you were reflecting it out.
What,
Just
what I would
putting
say,
it out there.
burning luck in a campaign, that's risky. I don't even know how you get luck back.
That just it was like a point, 2 points. It was very
Yeah.
minimal.
Yeah, if your
Okay.
name's Sam, you don't need that luck.
Nope.
Make your own luck.
Same Gallus, dead shot, Wagoneer.
Okay.
That's fine.
All right. And so she takes you back, Joe, to the bedroom that you were kind of looking in, and you see everything that Rutherford saw before, right? The scrape marks in the floor and those types of things.
Mm-hmm. Well, looking at Carly to get her visual approval, like a nod or a go ahead or something like that.
She's kind of looking at you like, I've brought you this far.
I'd like to try the key in that lock.
I think that's a good idea.
I try the key in the lock.
And so you turn it and there's just this rush of adrenaline in your heart. And Cully, you're feeling the same thing, right? These are the last kind of unknowns of Richard in your mind, right? Like Richard, it's been implied that Richard left this safe and this key was with him, and it's kind of bubbling up, this anticipation inside you with what could possibly be in there. And Joe, that key feels really heavy as you turn it, right? You can almost feel the tumblers kind of cranking back into the lid. And there's a heavy handle that raises up, and it takes all of your might. This is the lid itself probably weighs like 45, 50 pounds as you pull it up and off. And it's just
I'm kind of waif-like. Cully, can you help?
Yeah, I'll help you with whatever you need.
Okay. And so even Cully, as y'all are working together, right, this feels really intense as you pull it off. And it's just a straight cylinder down. And on top is a sealed white envelope. And you can see that there's stuff below this envelope.
I'd like to lift the envelope out and see if there's anything written on the outside.
It's completely blank.
Okay. Well, so I'll turn and look both at Cully and at Carly and say, I don't know what this is, but it's not mine to open, and just hold it out.
And Carly looks back at you, and she looks at Cully, and she says, he didn't leave a key for me.
Then I'll proffer it to Cully.
Yep, I'll reach out and I'll take it.
Okay.
And pretty nervously, but I'll open the envelope and look inside.
Okay. And so Wayne, you want to open it? Yeah, go ahead and open it.
It does say something on the outside.
I was hoping I'd get to open mine.
That important?
That was just so if you had a pile of envelopes at your own house, you would be able to distinguish it.
Oh. So this has been sitting here for what, a couple months?
Yeah, it's been like 2 months since we got them.
Sitting on the nightstand right next to us, completely unopened.
Wait. You got to go at Cully's direction here. I'll leave it at Cully.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah, I mean, I'm just going to open it up and I'm reading it out loud.
Okay.
So I'm not hiding anything.
Dear, oh boy, handwriting. Dear F and R.
Yeah.
Sorry, say it again. What were the letters?
Dear F and R.
S as in sun.
Franny.
No, F
as in Franny.
F as in Franny.
Franny.
Okay.
And R. Please don't hold this against me as you read this. I'm certain I'm no longer in a place to make apologies. I hold this secret as long as I could. I held this secret as long as I could, but it has caught up with me now. Unfortunately, it is now your burden. Give the envelope of cash to Jane. Jane. She and Millie need to go. No matter what they say, I never betrayed any government, either side. I was an agent of truth, failed though I did. I can't believe, in hindsight, they ever hired me, though it may have been easier for them to keep tabs on me. R, all I can say is you were right all along. Trust no one. F, though you seek the answers, I increasingly believe you don't want to know them. If there is anything left, my house goes to C. I'm sure you both understand. I recommend you destroy the documents here. I needed them if I was ever to return. Getting caught with them would be damning. The rest is for you. It was always meant to be my security, but obviously that has failed. Don't make it your final liability too. Always yours truly, Dimitri, parentheses, Richard. P.S. If you're not the intended party, please burn this, or may your vodka rot your blood.
And yeah,
Oh, go ahead.
go ahead, Cully.
My eyes are on the part about the house going to me, and my jaw is sort of on the floor, and I just hand the letter. Like I just sort of reach to hand the letter over as I'm contemplating what that means.
And
It
who do
means you got a
hand it
lot of
to?
fucking cleaning to do.
Oh shit. I don't know. I mean, I'm just sort of holding it out.
Okay, and so Carly will take it from you.
And I'm
And
gonna
and she holds it in front of her, and she says, well, I guess you know our real names now.
Oh.
Who was I know J is for Jane. Who's R?
Rutherford.
F was Franny, R was Rutherford, C was Cully, and then there was Jane,
Oh, yeah.
Jane and who?
Millie.
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 But it said
Millie.
Millie must go.
Leave.
Leave.
I think get out.
Mm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
The line says, give the envelope of cash to Jane. She and Millie need to go.
Hmm.
Okay.
Yep.
Got it.
And so as you look down into this safe, Joe, there's several things. There's a couple of folders that look like dossiers. One of them has Franny's photo on the front. The other has Rutherford's photo on the front. Below that, there's still more items.
Well, before I go through the safe, I would just ask what's going on because I haven't seen the letter yet.
I think
No, I
Cully,
read it.
Cully read it out loud.
He read it out
I read it
loud.
out loud. Oh,
I read it to
yeah.
everybody, so you heard
Yeah,
what
that's
everyone heard.
that's why she said, now you know.
Oh, okay. I
So
thought
now
he
you
handed
know
it to
our
her.
name.
She read it
Yeah.
and she was like, oh, now you know our names. Got it.
So
Okay.
Jane, what did he mean? You've got to go. Is he telling you to run away?
I'm not going anywhere. That fool. I don't know what he got himself into, but we're fine here and we're not going anywhere. But I know that he was very close to you, Cully, and his house is yours.
Jane, do you think being in Richard's house without Richard and being in Albuquerque,
It's
I
yours,
don't know.
Cully.
I
You-
don't know if I can do it. And I'm wondering if this would work. Can you help me sell it? And I could use the money to pay for college?
Cully, I'd love to help you sell it, but I'm afraid that might put me in a compromising position. But I bet you that somebody will help you sell it.
Yep. Sam is a realtor in his spare time.
And,
Someone-
and there's a deed to the house tucked into this letter that's already signed by Richard over to you. So you have all the legal documents you would need
Okay.
to sell it. She's just like, I can't. That's not a position I can put myself in.
All right. So Kylie's gonna say, well, I think I'm gonna go back to Albuquerque and I'll decide if I want to
think you
sell
mean
it or
Los
if I want
Alamos.
to keep it. Los Alamos, sorry.
Oh, good.
Misspoken. I'll go to Los Alamos and I'll decide if I want to keep it or not. And then Joe, I'll either be there or more likely I'll sell it and I'll go on to Santa Fe. But one
Well,
way
you
or
know,
another.
Cully, Los Alamos is a lot closer to Abiquiu.
I know, but there's too much there. I don't know. I can't decide. I'll let you know.
Write
And I'm going
me.
to turn to Jane and say, Jane, when I decide what I'm going to do, is it okay if I send you a note and then you can let Joe know? Because this seems like a safe house.
And she nods to you and she says, She says, the only thing, Cully, make sure you use the Carly name, please.
Okay, Carly.
Cully, I didn't even ask yet. Carly, I was wondering if I could stay here for a little while.
My home's open to you, Joe. You're welcome here as long as you need.
I
And
just
as-
have so
as-
many questions.
And as long as it's safe. Because I have to see what Richard has stirred up. If the Hornets are coming, or if he was as paranoid as I think he was.
But I have to tell you first that before, I mean, I thank you, but I just have to tell you that I can't be seen here as myself. How
Say
long
more.
have you lived here?
Say no more, child. Say no more. If anybody understands that statement, I do.
Do you know who I am?
I don't know who you are, and you don't know who I am. And that's okay.
I'd like to stay here.
I'll make you a bed.
I can help. I can clean and I can watch Stephanie, and I can, as long as what you ask is in the house, I can help you.
We'll work it out.
Okay.
Thank you.
So I'm gonna say my last goodbyes. Put the deed in my, I don't know. I have a bag, right? Because it's where I keep my notebook and my pencils and all that stuff. So I'm gonna put that in there, and make sure my rock is safe. And I'm gonna say sort of final goodbyes, and then I'm gonna go.
Okay.
And instead of going to Santa Fe, I'll go back to Los Alamos to tie things up. So
Write me.
I will.
Sam's making lip shapes.
Does anybody tell Sam's just hunkering in the kitchen, just having a cup of Joe coffee? Coffee would make sure there's no misnomers there.
Can you make a constitution check on that coffee you're drinking?
I made a fresh pot. Don't do this to. Oh God. Really?
Oh yeah. Is there a little bit of eyeball like humorous floating in there? Maybe.
Stop.
Let's...
I made a hard success.
Okay. All right. Just checking in.
What does that mean?
I'm just checking in. All right. So you're in the kitchen drinking your coffee.
Why do you?
Cully probably passes you on the way out.
Yeah, and I said,
Second time.
Cully, you on your way back to Santa Fe?
Yeah, I've got to stop over in Los Alamos first, but then I'm gonna go. Thank you, Mr. Wagoneer. Remember your promise.
Of course. Do you need a ride now that your plans have changed?
No, I'll still go to the bus stop. I need time.
All right. I guess you don't need as much money, so can I have that $20 back? Because
I run out the door.
You just got a house. I have a struggling farm.
Hey, you don't know he has a house.
Don't know that. You cheap bastard.
I need to get my kid a blue bicycle.
Yes, you do.
So
Joe is going to head back out to the kitchen because that letter from Franny is still sitting on the table, and she has not forgotten about it, though she did go away to talk to Cully.
Okay. And as you walk out, you hear Carly taking the bed and sliding it back across the floor.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, Sam, I am at the table picking up my letter.
You find what you were looking for there, Joe?
I had to talk to Cully. I had to figure out what was going on. And I think I'm going to stay here for a while with Carly and Stephanie.
And what are the next, Bill? Did the paperwork, your letters, the key, they provide any guidance on who may be causing this disruption in our fair town?
Well, I haven't read my letter yet. I just read the outside. I don't know if I'm quite ready to read Franny's last words, but she said I could trust you.
That you can. I just gotta think. I got a family back home. I'm willing to stake this out for a little bit. I may need to check in periodically.
I mean, go to your family. You don't have to stay with me. I just might like to know that you're around if unforeseen things happen, I guess.
It's fair. I can come check in on you, and if you need something, you know my number and where to find us. But I still think something seems afoot, and well, I'm willing to help you get to the bottom of it. I made a promise.
Well, that's why I'm staying, because there are things that I really need to know the answers to. And I think I can find those answers here.
Very well. Was there any large amounts of money? Because I have this bike I have to buy. No, so that's yeah, that's fair there, Joe. But there's a telephone, I presume. Keep her at this place, maybe.
Make a luck roll.
Me? Okay.
Yeah, you.
I'm asking for it.
Yeah.
Because I burned those 2 points of luck earlier, it actually just came to bite me in the ass.
Wow, that was
you might want to
quick.
leave your address instead of your phone number. I don't know
That's
if I
great
can
to
make calls here.
Does Carmen
believe that.
normally come back that quickly?
It was really quick.
Really fast.
It was super quick.
What
can't
could
even.
you have possibly done to Karma to make it come back that
I
quick?
can't believe.
I know.
Too many options.
That was an alternate time stream.
It's
Yeah,
the
and
darkest timeline.
you didn't even need the hard success that you burned it for.
Yep, great. So happy. So, fair point, Joe. Well, you know where I live. Actually, you know my address. We've been out there.
Well, although I was there once, I don't actually remember the street and the numbers, so it would be really great if you could write it down to be safe.
And I'll write down the numbers in one spot and like the street name in another. Either
Okay.
like, underneath the table on one and then, in the fireplace in another. I mean, just trying to break them up so that, they're not readily sort of connected. And so Joe at least knows where they are, if that makes sense.
That makes
That's not
sense.
weird at all.
And I'll gather, I suppose, the rifle that Franny would have had there in the house. I would use some cloths, rags, make sure it's cleaned without touching anything. I'd make sure I grab some dishwashing gloves and get any Rutherford bits out of it.
Did you I'm just curious because presumably Franny wasn't that unbloodied when you took her out of the back of the truck, and then when you moved the burlap, and you know what?
I dragged her by the burlap. I was very specific about that.
Uh-huh.
You did help her
Yeah,
down
but
onto
she's
the burlap,
bleeding
though.
from a gunshot wound.
By the back, by the shoulders. Your wound was up front, for what it's worth.
It was through and through.
Yeah, it was through and through.
I didn't help you down on the. I would have avoided the wound. That's the whole point of this. Is he was trying. There's just logically, he's not going to try and contaminate himself.
Could
is my
we
point.
see how Karma does with your second
Don't do
luck
this.
roll?
Don't do this.
Yeah, I think so.
You're kind of retconning, and we went with it.
Oh, no, no, no,
The
no, no, no.
story's going.
It's
The
legitimate.
story's just flying
I can make the roll for
forward.
you. Here, I'll do the roll for you. Let's see how I roll.
You should do it with the dice I touched.
59, and I have a 64 now.
Okay. Just checking in.
We okay?
We're good.
All right.
Did you read those the right way around? Sure, it's on 95.
That'd be a lot more fun. It'd be a lot better if you did.
for who? So Sam Mosey's gathers his things, makes it clean, says goodbye to
Carly.
Carly. I've known her all of like 5 seconds, to be frank.
She's really Jane, though, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So I don't get mixed up. Okay.
Yeah.
Jane and Millie.
But
Yeah.
for what it's worth, Sam never heard those names.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
Only Cully and Joe did.
Okay.
Yep. So I'll say, Miss Carly, I hear Joe's gonna be hunkering down here for a little bit. Should you or your little one need anything, I'll be up in Los Alamos. Made a promise to Franny to look after her, and should you need to skedaddle for your own safety, just give me a. Well, you can't give me a call. Just give me a send me a Pony Express
Letter.
a letter,
A letter.
or send her on the bus.
I mean, you could leave your number. There are other phones that exist outside
I
of the house.
suppose I could, and so I will leave my number.
Well,
but
that's
broken.
assuming Sam has a phone.
That's
Should do
true.
A luck roll.
No, we know.
We know Sam has a phone.
Oh, okay.
That's how his
We
poor
know
son
Sam
found out
has
he
a-
wasn't getting a bicycle.
Oh,
That's-
that's right. Oh, of course.
That's canon.
That
That's
is.
canon now. That's right. We can't retcon that far. So Sam will leave his phone number, but he will break it up between 3 and 4 digits. Let's say around the post of the stairs. Are there stairs?
Why are
There's
you
no
writing
stuff.
all over the house?
Could you have
What the
asked
hell
for
is
paper?
happening? How is giving a phone number such a complicated affair? Like,
The longest part of our final episode is Rick saying goodbye.
It's
this
All right,
guy's
all
been around for 4 minutes. It's like, and let me tell you how much I'm gonna miss you.
All right, I will leave my number then in full, but I will leave it with 1 digit higher on each number slot and tell them to subtract 1. How's that?
So-
That
sounds
that's fair.
good.
Is that
Sure.
fair?
It's a
Sure.
code.
It's a code. And stop laughing, Cully. You're halfway to. You're
He doesn't want it to fall into the wrong hands and have people crank call him.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Your vehicle warranty is expiring soon.
Yeah, that started way back then, and there was just one guy calling the number. Fair enough.
Warranty.
Fair enough. So I'll ask if they need anything else, and then if not, I'll hop in my car. I don't have any money from this though. I'll just ask if there's any. Do you guys have any payment? I was told that I may get paid for my help here, and I have a very demanding and expecting a wife.
You're
at
doing
home.
so well. You were doing so well.
Is that in game?
You're such an
Because
idiot.
if so, Joe's jaw is just gonna drop.
I'll head out. I'm heading out. Don't
Blank
worry, I'm getting in the
look.
car. Getting in the car and going. How much does a bike cost in 1940?
Probably like $2.
Yeah, you gave him a pants load of cash when you gave him $20.
Yeah, that was a lot of money. All right, so then I think we'll close out there with Sam pulling out of the driveway, and Joe and we'll keep it simple here, Carly, talking to each other in the front of the house, like maybe making a bed for you or something like that in the little girl's room, so that you both have a bed together. And then the camera will cut away from that moment of y'all, and it will pan underneath the bed, kind of down into the safe where there's these reels of supposedly like 16 millimeter film and the dossiers and a couple of other little items that aren't exactly discernible. And then we'll close out there.
That is going to do it for us tonight. And that is going to do it for season 2 of Under the Library. When we see you again, we will be starting off the journey in season 3. But in the same time frame and in the same general location. There might be some new characters. There might be some returning characters. Who knows? We will find out next time. Until then, you can find us online at Under the Library, on Instagram, Under the Library, Twitter, Under the LIB. So for me, for Michael, for Rick, for Chris, for Emily, Wayne, and Scott, thank you so much, and we will see you next time.